Have you ever stopped to consider how much time you spend on social media each day? It's become an inseparable part of our lives, connecting us with friends, family, and the world at large. It's a platform for self-expression, a source of news, and a tool for business. But like a coin, social media has another side, a hidden one that we often choose to ignore. This is the dark side of social media, a realm that harbors issues of cyberbullying, comparison culture, digital addiction, and privacy concerns. As we journey together, we'll uncover this less talked about aspect of our digital lives. We'll explore the unseen consequences, the traps of constant comparisons, the addictive nature of these platforms, and the stress that comes with data concerns. As we delve deeper into this topic, you may find some truths uncomfortable, but remember, awareness is the first step towards positive change. When we talk about the dark side of social media, what exactly do we mean? It's the shadowy underbelly that lurks beneath the bright, shiny exterior of likes, shares, and viral content. It's the part that most of us would rather not think about, but it's there, influencing our behavior and impacting our mental well-being. In this video, we'll be shining a light on 4 key aspects of the dark side of social media: cyberbullying, the culture of constant comparisons, digital addiction, and privacy concerns. Each of these areas presents its own set of challenges, and we'll be delving into them in detail. We'll explore the psychological impacts, the societal implications, and most importantly, what we can do to navigate these murky waters. So buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the unseen consequences of our digital society. Imagine being targeted by hateful comments and threats just because you chose to express yourself online. This is the alarming reality for many social media users who fall victim to cyberbullying. The screens that connect us to the world can also serve as a platform for cruelty and torment. Cyberbullying isn't just limited to nasty comments on a post. It can take many forms. It can be a relentless barrage of direct messages, public shaming, or even the creation of accounts dedicated to harassment. A staggering number of individuals, particularly young people, have experienced this form of bullying. In fact, 1 in 4 teenagers has reported being cyberbullied at some point in their lives. Behind these statistics are real people with real emotions. The impact of such virtual torment is far from virtual. It's real, it's painful, and it can be devastating. Victims of cyberbullying often experience feelings of worthlessness, anxiety, and depression. They may withdraw from social interaction, both online and offline, and their academic performance may suffer. The effects of cyberbullying also ripple outwards, impacting families, communities, and society at large. Parents agonize over the safety and well-being of their children. Schools struggle to maintain a positive and respectful learning environment. Communities grapple with incidents that can escalate into larger conflicts. And at a societal level, we all bear the cost of a generation growing up in a world where hostility and cruelty can be so casually dispensed. It's crucial to remember that the person on the other side of the screen is just that, a person. A person with feelings, hopes, and dreams. A person who deserves to be treated with kindness and respect. Each one of us has the power to make the digital world a safer, more inclusive space. Unfortunately, the scars from cyberbullying run deep and are often invisible. But by shining a light on this dark side of social media, we can begin to understand, address, and ultimately reduce its impact. How often do you find yourself comparing your life to what you see others posting on social media? More often than not, we're drawn into this vortex of constant comparison, inevitably leading us to question our own lives. We're talking about the psychological implications of this trap, a trap that's as deep as it is damaging. Let's begin with the most obvious fallout: stress. You see, our brains aren't wired to handle the volume of information and comparisons that social media throws at us. Every picture-perfect post, every success story we scroll past, adds a layer of stress. It's like a constant game of catch-up, where the finish line keeps shifting further away. This stress is a silent predator, often leading to anxiety. You start to worry about why your life isn't as picture-perfect, or why you're not vacationing in exotic locations. You worry about the milestones you haven't reached, or the experiences you haven't had. This anxiety, if left unchecked, can be debilitating, casting a shadow over your daily life. And then, there's depression. Seeing the highlight reel of others' lives can make you feel like you're always falling short. You feel inadequate, underaccomplished, and often lonely. It's a dark place to be, and it's important to remember that what you see on social media is not the full story. It's a curated, filtered version of reality. So how do we break free from this trap? The first step is awareness. Recognize that this constant comparison is harmful. Next, limit your exposure. Set boundaries for your social media use. Engage in activities that make you happy, not ones that make you feel less than. And finally, practice gratitude. Celebrate your achievements, however small they may seem. Remember, social media is a tool. It's up to us how we choose to use it. We can let it dictate our self-worth, or we can use it to connect, learn, and grow. The choice, as always, is ours. Remember, what you see on social media is often a highlight reel, not the full story. So the next time you find yourself falling into the trap of comparison, remind yourself of this truth. You are more than the sum of your social media feed. Have you ever felt a sense of unease when you're not able to check your social media notifications? This unshakable feeling, ladies and gentlemen, is the hallmark of digital addiction, and it's a phenomenon that's more widespread than you might think. This dark side of screen time is characterized by an obsessive need to constantly check our phones or computers, often to the detriment of our overall well-being. It's like being caught in a digital whirlpool, where your screen time spirals out of control and begins to consume your everyday life. But what makes social media so addictive? Well, it's a carefully crafted system designed to keep us hooked. Every like, comment, and share triggers a dopamine rush. That's the feel-good hormone. And just like Pavlov's dogs, we start associating these notifications with pleasure, leading us to crave more. This cycle of instant gratification and craving keeps us glued to our screens, often for hours on end, and the consequences, they're far from harmless. Excessive screen time can lead to sleep disturbances, decreased productivity, and even foster feelings of loneliness and depression. Moreover, it can disrupt our real-world social interactions and distort our perception of reality. But it's not all doom and gloom. Recognizing the problem is the first step towards solving it. There are strategies that can help us manage digital addiction and foster a healthier relationship with social media. One such strategy is setting screen time limits. Most smartphones today come with built-in features that enable us to track and limit our screen time. Using these tools can go a long way in helping us regain control of our digital lives. Another effective strategy is to designate screen-free zones or times. This could be the dinner table, your bedroom, or perhaps even a whole day of the week. This not only helps reduce screen time but also encourages more face-to-face interactions, which is crucial for our mental health. Lastly, consider taking up new hobbies or activities that can divert your attention away from your screens. This could be anything from reading a book, going for a walk, or even learning a new skill. Taking control of our screen time is a crucial step towards a healthier digital life. By being mindful of our habits and making a conscious effort to change, we can navigate the digital world without being consumed by it. Did you know that every time you use social media, you're potentially exposing a wealth of personal information? That's right. Every like, share, post, or comment you make can be collected, analyzed, and even sold. This realization can cause significant psychological stress. It's a form of modern anxiety, a constant worry about who might be watching, what they might do with your information. Imagine walking into a room and finding out that every conversation you've had, every thought you've shared is on display for strangers to scrutinize. That's the reality of data concerns in the digital age. It's like living in a glass house, where privacy is a luxury, not a right. But don't despair. There are ways to protect yourself. Be mindful of the information you share online. Use privacy settings to control who sees your posts. Regularly update your passwords. And above all, stay informed about your rights and the potential risks. Your privacy is priceless. Protect it. So, what have we learned about the dark side of social media? We've journeyed through the hidden corners and discovered that while social media can connect us, it can also divide and harm. We've seen how cyberbullying can wreak havoc on mental health and how comparison culture can trap us in a cycle of endless inadequacy. We've delved into the addictive nature of screen time and the psychological stress linked to data concerns. From all these, we can conclude that social media indeed has a dark side. Its psychological impacts are real and demand our attention. But remember, awareness is the first step towards change. By understanding these effects, we empower ourselves to navigate this digital landscape with caution and wisdom. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. Stay tuned for our next videos where we will explore these issues in more depth. Before you go, we have a small request. If you've been stirred by what you've heard today, we encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences down below in the comments. And if you found this video useful, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing it with your friends. By doing so, you're helping to raise awareness of the dark side of social media. Remember, knowledge is power, and sharing it can make a world of difference. Together, we can make social media a safer and healthier place for all.